Tonight, pressure continues to mount on Donald Trump to resign from the presidential race. But Donald Trump says he's not doing it. This comes after a decade-old tape was released where Trump can be heard talking about women in graphic terms. Trump has apologized and says he is now focusing on tomorrow night's debate. NBC's Jennifer Johnson has the latest.
Hey, thank you.
A Republican rally led by House Speaker Paul Ryan, minus the party's presidential nominee. Donald Trump was disinvited after his latest controversy.
There is a bit of an elephant in the room, but that is not what we are here to talk about today.
At midnight, Trump took on that elephant in a videotaped apology.
I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize.
But then Trump went on the offensive.
Bill Clinton has actually abused women, and Hillary has bullied, attacked, shamed, and intimidated his victims.
Trump's reaction after a firestorm Friday when an audio recording from an Access Hollywood hot mic in 2005 was released. It caught Trump bragging in vulgar terms about how he moves in on women with then-host Billy Bush.
I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the
Running mate Mike Pence decided to skip the GOP rally. In a statement, Pence said he was offended by Trump's comments but is standing by him. Melania Trump released a statement too, saying in part, "The words my husband used are unacceptable and offensive to me. I hope people will accept his apology as I have." But other Republicans are calling on Trump to resign.
I believe our only option is to formally ask Mr. Trump to step down.
Late Saturday, Trump tweeted, "I will never drop out of the race. Will never let my supporters down." Trump will get another chance to defend himself as he and Hillary Clinton square off in their second debate Sunday night. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
Half of the questions at tomorrow night's debate will come from undecided voters. While there is still no telling how this latest controversy will sway Texas voters, if at all. The latest poll released Wednesday shows since the presidential debate, support for Hillary Clinton in the state rose 3 points. But Donald Trump still has a 7-point lead. Today, KXAN's Lauren Landman spoke with members from both parties.
There's one thing both Republicans and Democrats are agreeing on.
I think it's disgusting and abhorrent.
And that's that Trump's most recent comments brought to light are hurting his campaign.
I think he's terrible, and I think he's an embarrassment to the United States.
So damning, so disqualifying.
Matt Makoviak has worked in politics for years and as a Republican consultant for the past 8. He describes Trump's campaign as unusual.
We are truly in uncharted territory here. We've never seen anything like this.
Republican leaders have now started calling for Trump to step down just 1 month before Election Day. The question now is what kind of impact will this have on the polls?
This race has changed in the last 48 hours. I think it was a competitive race that she was likely to win, but it was going to be in a reasonable margin. It's now, I think, totally changed. This will now be potentially one of the biggest landslides certainly in modern American political history.
And for Matt, he thinks with Trump standing his ground, this election could completely change the future of politics.
There's a real question about, does the Republican Party continue, truly? Because after Trump, there is going to be a vicious and violent civil war within the party about the future of the party.
But one thing's for sure, it's an election that only continues to get more interesting. Reporting in Austin, Lauren Landman, KXAN News.
Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick released a statement following the release of that tape. It says this, quote, "There is absolutely no excuse to ever talk about women in such a crude and demeaning way." He went on to say Trump is still a better candidate than Clinton. About an hour ago, Governor Greg Abbott took to Twitter to react. He called Trump's comments an insult to all women and contrary to GOP values. He also added consequences from the comments will be, quote, dire. We will go on as scheduled here on the CW Austin with your local news tomorrow. We will recap the debate over on KXAN News after Sunday Night Football. Before that debate, we'll take a look at what to expect on State of Texas In Depth. Elena Rocha from the Texas Tribune and Texas Monthly editor Brian Sweeney will join KXAN's Josh Hinkle tomorrow morning at 8:30.